This is Dr. Hobbolt, and I'm going to help you with this problem. It says, how many 3 halves are in 5? On your whiteboard or paper, write a multiplication equation and a division equation for the problem. So let's do that part first. When it says how many 3 halves are in 5, we're wondering how many groups of 3 halves are in 5. So our multiplication equation, we would have how many groups of 3 halves are in 5. And for our division equation, our total number of things, or our total amount, would be our dividend, which is 5. We're wondering how many groups of 3 halves we would have. So our quotient is question mark. So these are the equations that you should have written on your whiteboard or paper so far. Next it says draw a tape diagram for the problem and find the answer. So let's go ahead and make a simple tape diagram. You might notice I turned my graph paper off for this one, just so I can help people who are maybe not working with graph paper. So we'll show how to do our best here. So we want to have about 5 holes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just do your best to make them, all roughly an equal size. And I drew this too close to my equation. So for me, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I can scoot down real quick. But if yours is too close to your equations, don't sweat it. So, well, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Okay. So again, this all represents 5. Now we're wondering how many 3 halves are in 5. So really I want to get access to breaking stuff in half, right? Because I'm going to be taking groups of 3 halves. So I want to break each whole into groups of 1 half. So go ahead, take each whole in your diagram, break it into 1 half. So see how this represents 1 whole? This is 1 whole, and I have 2 halves that are in it. So we don't need to label them all as 1 half. We're just going to go ahead and break all of them in half and know that that's what we're doing. So next we want to see how many groups of 3 halves are in 5. So let's start looking at groups of 3 halves in our diagram. So I'll highlight the first one. This is one group of 3 halves. And on your whiteboard, you could put it in braces like this. So this would be one group of 3 halves. And then let's count another one. So 1, 2, 3. This is another group of 3 halves. And then I have 1, 2, 3. So that's one group of 3 halves. And then I have this one block left over. So how many groups is that? If I need 3 of these halves to make one group of 3 halves and I only have 1 of them, then what portion of our group do I have if I have 1 out of 3 that I need? This is 1/3 of a group. So this is the tape diagram, or something similar that you want to be able to take a picture of and upload it. And then the answer to the question, how many 3 halves are in 5? How many do you see? We see 1, 2, 3, and then 1/3 of a group. So the answer to this question is 3 and 1/3. Thanks for working this problem with me, and I hope it'll help you be successful.